This was a large-scale incident.
Boulder police officers are wounded. Cars flip for no reason. College students claim they just wanted a good time. Some neighbors want them out.
It's not common to see a windshield broken in an armored rescue vehicle like this.
Plus, we now know what you can and can't do after you are fully vaccinated. And the next round of stimulus checks may be a few weeks from your bank account.
And we begin tonight with breaking news. This broke just less than an hour ago. Justice now for Kelsey Schelling. The 21-year-old from Denver was 2 months pregnant when she disappeared on February 4th, 2013. And today, 8 years later, her murderer was found guilty in a Pueblo courtroom.
Overwhelming emotion, as you can imagine, in the courtroom today. Denver7's Liz Gilardi is live tonight. Liz, you have been with this case every step of the way now for all these years.
Well, and Shannon, this is a guilty verdict 8 years in the making, and even though Kelsey Schelling's body has never been found, the jury clearly felt there was enough evidence to convict the man her family has always suspected from the very beginning. The prosecutor and police said today that justice was served. Kelsey Schelling was 21 years old and 8 weeks pregnant when she vanished, and she drove to Pueblo on February 4th, 2013 to visit her boyfriend and the father of her child, Dante Lucas. But what happened when she arrived remained a mystery. The prosecution painted a picture of a troubled relationship with a history of domestic violence. Cell phone records and surveillance video also proved to be critical, and that video would show Lucas moving her car to multiple locations around Pueblo in the days after she disappeared. Kelsey's family is overwhelmed. Her mom said she never wanted to give up, but at times she wasn't sure if this case would ever go to trial. I first met her mom, Laura Saxton, back in 2017 while working on a story about this unsolved case, and at the time Lucas was only considered a person of interest. Today, Laura Saxton said she was honestly still in shock and just moments after that verdict came down, and she also thanked the Colorado Bureau of Investigation for their role in that case because that really proved to be a turning point. Now, Schelling disappeared in 2013, but Lucas was not charged with first-degree murder until 2017, so it has been a long journey for this family.
That's just his pattern. He finds girls to take advantage of, and unfortunately for Kelsey, it just went way farther than that. So, I think the community should feel good, feel safe that he's not going to be back out on the streets again. There were times I thought we would never get to trial. That's how dire things seemed. But I just didn't want to give up. I couldn't give up on Kelsey. I just couldn't.
But the guilty verdict is bittersweet because Schelling has never been found. Her mom said today that she was so thankful for this outcome, but in the end, she did not get her daughter back, and that's what she wanted more than anything. She wants nothing more than to bring Kelsey home, and she said now she has to live with that unknown for the rest of her life. Reporting live tonight in the newsroom, Liz Gilardi, Denver7.
Yes, at least some sense of closure. Thank you. One ugly night may have undone years of image rehabilitation for CU Boulder. Tonight, a school that wants to be known for research has gained infamy for a Saturday riot.
Boulder police are hoping to release pictures of the people involved in that very soon. They've received hundreds of tips from very irritated neighbors.
Denver7's Patrick Perez is live in Boulder tonight with the latest on this. Patrick?
Hey, Ann, the Boulder Police Department has received more than 750 tips in the past 24 hours. All of them, of course, focusing on Saturday night's destructive riot. And now as investigators are working to identify suspects in some of those tips and videos, they want to make sure this does not happen again. It may be the most glaring example of the violence that consumed Boulder's University Hill neighborhood Saturday night, as not even an armored police truck was enough to convince the crowd the party was over.
When it was pulled in, it was immediately surrounded, and immediately it was pelted with bottles, rocks, and bricks by individuals.
Boulder police say those individuals were CU Boulder students at a party that spilled into the streets and quickly got way out of control.
Due to riot conditions, you are ordered to leave the area immediately.
Students we spoke with say they were rioting because they're upset over COVID-19 restrictions and they just want to party. Several SWAT officers were injured and a number of cars were damaged during that riot. Since then, police have received a barrage of tips and video evidence, enough to move their investigation forward.
So it's piecing these videos together, these photos together, to identify possible suspects or come up with images to share with the community to identify the suspects.
Janine Jansen lives in the University Hill neighborhood where the students rioted. She was shocked when she stepped outside the next morning to what was left behind.
Like, oh my gosh, it's so close. You know, it's kind of freaky that it is so close. And so yeah, not the best kind of feeling in the world.
With zero tolerance for a repeat, police and the university are closing ranks and working together to increase neighborhood patrols. But police admit badges and batons are just part of the solution.
It really is just kind of asking people to work together, asking some people to use common sense, reminding people, you know, when you live somewhere that you don't live in a bubble, you live surrounded by other individuals.
Janine sympathizes with the students.
You know, we're all tired of it and we're all doing things we don't want to be doing. So missing out on things.
And that's the bigger concern, this massive melee turning into a super spreader.
I know someone whose husband is a college professor and no vaccine yet. So I would be very alarmed if I was teaching at this point in time.
That's why the university is asking those who attended the riot to quarantine for 10 days and get tested by the end of the week. And at 5:30 today, the Boulder Police Department is hosting a virtual meeting with residents from the University Hill neighborhood. They want to address any concerns they may have about what went down on Saturday night. And of course, if you still have any tips, videos, pictures of what happened Saturday night, Boulder Police wants that from you. You can go ahead and contact them. We also have a link to their website on the denverchannel.com. We're live in Boulder. I'm Patrick Perez, Denver7.
Patrick, thank you. 10% of Colorado's fully vaccinated tonight. About 13,000 people received the second dose on Sunday. But according to the CDC, only about 4 in 5 vaccine doses shipped to Colorado is actually used. Now, that is in line with the national average, but it is far behind more efficient states like Wisconsin and New Mexico, which are giving more than 93% of their doses.
Now, barring what happened Saturday in Boulder, it's hard to imagine a gathering without masks or social distancing. Excuse me, but the day is coming for some people who have been vaccinated. It's already here.
Today, the CDC announced some new guidance for anybody who has been vaccinated. They can gather indoors with small groups without masks. Here's Denver7's Liz Gilardi.
So grateful so many people cares about me and I care about them.
Joanne Greenlee turned 90 last summer, and all she wanted to do was celebrate with her family. But visits haven't been as often as she would like.
Have my daughter come, you know, for 20 minutes was nice, but that wasn't long enough. And then when they said I could go out to lunch.
For the first time in a year, she got to leave her nursing home and go shopping with her daughter, Lola Bryn. They're both vaccinated. Lola hopes the new CDC guidelines means the family can sit down together for dinner.
The family hasn't seen her since Christmas of 2019. And so the fact that, you know, that we may be able to even get together for Easter.
The new guidance says vaccinated people can get together with others who are also fully vaccinated in small groups inside their homes without a mask or social distancing. And they can visit unvaccinated people who are at low risk for severe disease.
But it certainly makes sense, and it's really great news for grandparents who want to see their grandchildren.
Dr. Richard Zane with UC Health also hopes this news will encourage more people to get a vaccine.
I think the vaccine is the light at the end of the tunnel, and this recent CDC guidance about vaccinated people is 2 steps towards that light at the end of the tunnel.
For Jolene, the vaccine means freedom. It means she will be able to see her family, have dinner at her daughter's house, and since she's hard of hearing, she's glad they won't have to wear masks.
Oh, it means the world to me because I didn't get to spend Christmas or Thanksgiving with my kids, and I was so down in the dumps because I was looking forward to it. That's the first time I couldn't go see them.
Lola is already making plans for Easter, hoping her mom won't have to spend the day alone.
It's going to be great, and the kids are going to look forward to seeing her too.
Liz Gilardi, Denver7.
And the Biden administration says the goal is to get everybody a vaccine by Memorial Day. But in Colorado, we are seeing some small delays in the supply chain. Now, we probably won't get another shipment of single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccines for 2 weeks. Governor Polis announced that last week without fully explaining why. And for the time being, we are relying on Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, and we should be up to 400,000 a week by April.
And at the current pace, people over the age of 50 in Colorado will be able to start getting their vaccines next Friday. We understand how confusing this process has been. Believe me, our contact Denver7 inbox is full with questions about how to sign up, whether they're eligible. So we have a page to help you. I hope you visit thedenverchannel.com/vaccine. It is constantly being updated for everything vaccine related. In fact, we just added some brand new information for you today.
And tomorrow, Wednesday, the U.S. House is expected to pass the $1.9 trillion stimulus plan on a party line vote. President Biden could sign it before the end of the week.
And that bill includes $1,400 stimulus checks for people earning up to $75,000 per year, $300 per week in federal unemployment benefits, an expansion of the child tax credit, plus tens of billions in funding for vaccines in schools and state and local governments. And those stimulus checks could be direct deposited by the end of the month.
People won't have to wait months and months and months. It'll be right in their pocket.
Now, the bill must be signed by Sunday in order to prevent a lapse in extended unemployment benefits. But the White House has even bigger ambitions. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says she wants to fix the labor market by Christmas.
I hope you're enjoying this because there is a big change, a lot of snow by the end of the week.
Plus, jury selection is delayed for the officer at the center of George Floyd's death.
And time to get away?
The last 12 months have been unlike anything we've ever seen.
After more than a year of crushing losses, the travel industry wants to welcome you back as soon as you're ready.
We're seeing some good news. We're seeing bookings pick up slightly.